For the past year, my relationship with my father has been strained and heavy with tension. He has always expected perfection from me, never hesitating to point out when I fall short in his eyes. No matter what I do, it never seems enough for him. Last semester, I earned a 3.8 GPA, something I was proud of. But instead of celebrating with me, my father criticized me for not reaching a 4.0 and accused me of being lazy. I made the all-league varsity volleyball team twice, and our team even reached the semifinals this year. Still, his focus was only on the mistakes I made on the court. I have always dreamed of becoming a nurse or a firefighter, but he has never supported these goals. With my younger brothers, he is warm and encouraging, and he is a loving husband to my mom. But when it comes to me, I sometimes feel like he never wanted a daughter. The past few months have been some of the hardest of my life. I was accepted into my dream college and committed right away. It's out of state, but I received a scholarship that covers most of the tuition, making it the best option for me both financially and personally. My father, however, strongly disagrees. He believes families should stay together, and my decision to move feels like betrayal to him. Since I told my parents about my decision back in January, my father has reminded me daily of how selfish I am, how terrible of a person he believes I've become. He calls me a failure, tells me I will never succeed, and his words cut deeper than I can express. We've been trapped in a cycle of arguments and yelling for months, saying things to each other we can't take back. At times, I even thought about cutting him out of my life once I leave for school. For the past year and a half, I have quietly battled thoughts of ending my life. It has been exhausting trying to find reasons to hold on, especially while constantly clashing with him. I began hurting myself again, and my right thigh is covered in marks that remind me of my pain. I even wrote letters to my family, preparing for the worst, and came close to following through twice this year. Just last weekend, I nearly gave in, but a conversation with a friend earlier that day gave me the strength to stop. I graduate high school next month, and my plan has been to admit myself to a treatment facility right after. I don't even know if I'll make it that far, but that has been my goal. Last night, I broke down and read one of my letters, leaving it out on my desk before falling asleep. I forgot to put it away before heading to school. At noon today, my father texted me asking if we could have a serious talk. My stomach sank as I braced for another fight. When I got home, he walked into my room, closed the door, and sat beside me on my bed. He told me he had seen and read my letter earlier that morning when he came in to drop off clothes. In that moment, everything shifted. He took my hand and, with tears in his voice, began apologizing for how he has treated me. He admitted he had been reflecting all day on his behavior and realized how harsh and hurtful he's been. He told me how proud he actually is of me, of my accomplishments, my determination, and how I've been a role model for my brothers and peers. He said whenever people mention me, it's always with respect and hope for my future. His words sounded genuine, and for the first time in a long while, I felt he truly saw me. When he asked about my struggles, I showed him my thigh. His face crumbled and he broke down sobbing, apologizing over and over. He hugged me tightly, the first hug in over a year, and for the first time in so long, I felt safe in his arms. I cried too, overwhelmed by how much I had longed for that one gesture of affection. He held me for an hour, rubbing my back, promising to change, promising to be better. He said he wants me to go to college, that he was selfish for not supporting me, and that he is proud of who I am. I opened up about my plans for treatment after graduation, and he fully supported me. As an EMT, he even reassured me about the healing of my scars, and though some may remain, I told him I wasn't ashamed of them. He kissed my forehead before stepping out to get us food, and when he came back, we spent 2 hours just talking. No yelling, no anger, just an honest conversation. It was the first real talk we've had in more than 2 years, and it was all I've ever wanted. Tonight, I feel something I haven't felt in so long: hope. For the first time, I believe we might rebuild our relationship. He checked in on me before bed and wished me good night, words I haven't heard from him in years. It made me so happy. I know I'm still struggling and far from healed, but tonight I don't feel weighed down by anger or sadness. Instead, I feel a spark of peace, and maybe even the beginning of something better between us.